And it's going to be Guyssss Mishra to open the bowling. And he's bowling first up to Arun. So there we go, first ball for Carlton. And goes aerial, goes over the top. And a big roar from their camp, 4 runs to start. And this was the issue I found with Mishra, even in that match against Berkshire. I think he's bowling a good length outside the off stump for batters, especially inside the power play, to get underneath and put away. And Pilaya, no mistakes from him, gets the boundary straight away. Mishra once more. Oh, this one hits the pad. And it almost looks like he misjudges this, Pilaya. But let's have a look at this again. I think Pilaya's saying, yeah, this one does come in a bit. But there's that swing. Oh, and he gets too much swing there, unfortunate. It's going to go on to miss leg stick. Well, that's what he can do, you know, he's the in-swing bowler. So a chance now to see Burnett, strong left-hander. Plays. That's a Scottish international. And, off the mark straight away. Flicks it onto the onside. No fielders in close. Well, I know that Vinny had plenty of support from the kids. Well, I'm sure that Fraser Burnett does as well. He's a primary school teacher, so I'm sure there's plenty of kids, you know, watching his performance here with interest as well. Strong left-hander, gets the single, goes back to the non-strikers then. Full toss, this will be a no ball surely, as it's been put away, and yes, the umpires do signal. So Mishra goes too high, and not only that's the ball go to the boundary, it's called straight away as a no ball. Maybe just trying to slow a delivery here, but gets punished. They've got to be careful here. Cluj, remember in their first match earlier, it was Collie that bowled 2 no balls because of, and there were high no balls, so he was taken out of the attack. It might have worked in their favour actually, as Taranjit came on and picked up some wickets. This one's called a wide, so this will still remain a free hit. Interesting that the batter there, Pillai, didn't really change anything. I thought I would have seen him attack a bit more, maybe come out of his crease. Remember, being stumped don't matter, it is a free hit. Let's see if he changes this one. Well, he flicks it away, it looks like he'll get another boundary, and he will. That's 4 more. फील्डर अपना वासु सानी काफी चेज की है पर नहीं बच गई, लग गया चौका, 4 more. And that was slightly slower and he just flicks it away. And as ever, Taranjit Singh just have a little chat with Mishra. I just get the feeling that I wouldn't be giving Mishra the new ball. That's my feeling early on, watching him bowling here the second time. Just a bit risky, I think, for me in the power play, with the batters looking to go over the top. And he could prove me wrong here if he can pick up a valuable wicket. Gets this one through, just trying to dab this away, and you can see why. And well, that's not good fielding at all. And well, the ball is still moving around. I mean, initially, he's just trying to dab this. He sees the third man is up. You see what he's trying to do here, but misses out on it. But look, how do you get 2 runs from a ball that just ends up a couple of metres away from the keeper? That's poor. I mean, didn't really need to get that throw in. I mean, the throw was badly directed, and didn't help that nobody was backing up. Takes this one to the man point to take the single, and that will be the end of the first over. So it's 19 without loss after the first, and a good time to welcome back the energetic, our very own energetic person in the commentary box, the Good Time crew. Of course, we're talking about Mr. Maximo himself, Vinny Sandu.
Yeah, thanks, Rico. It's good to be back. And wasn't it great to see those kids from the Aloha College in Marbella? And you're right, if it wasn't for my rainbow-coloured shirt, I think I would have fit in really nicely with him.
You're all colour-coded, the school uniform as well. That's nice.
Because we had the early finish in the game before. They had a good go out in the middle.
They did, yeah.
Might have seen some of it if you're watching on our YouTube stream, ECN European Cricket Network.
I tell you what, some of them hit the ball really well.
Yeah,
hit it well, and some good catches as well. I was quite impressed with the fielding.
Wonder if anyone's got any Turkish passports. It's we're going to have Hamid Kohli going in. Let's see if he can get through his over this time. This is in the air. It's going to be a lot of work for the man at third man as well. Except, he's knocked it over the line, and it's disappointing for the man down there. Made good ground to it, but just couldn't keep it in the field of play. 4 runs to Carlton.
Yeah, फील्डर ने बहुत अच्छी कोशिश की थी पर लग गया चौका इतने टच लग गया ना फिर बस कंट्रोल नहीं हुई and he just followed him. He was like a magnet to that kookaburra saying, I want you, give me some love. He's over for 4.
Scrambling to try and keep that in. Isn't able to. We'll say. That's Carlton from Scotland. Looking forward to seeing them. We see them making a pretty healthy start. Colley's bowled with good pace today. Oh, but this one comes off the bat with some pace as well. It's straight through the line. Blind goes Maximo. He moves into the 20s in quick time. This is pitched up and it was sent out of the ground.
What a lovely shot. This was pure timing. Beautifully executed. Arriba, arriba, arriba. Says Carreras.
They've got a good smattering of experience. This Carlton lineup from Edinburgh in Scotland. Kohli, what's his approach now? On the walk, he wants more. This is a great bit of manipulation. It's going to be 6 more. Maximo time, 2 and 2. He got on the front foot, he was on the walk. But the main thing is, he got it out of the middle of the bat. That's just a little flick of the wrist. Dismisses it away for another 6.
Well, effortless that was. Effortless. It's all about timing. It's all about positioning. And once he's in the right position, just using the pace of the ball off the middle of the bat. 6 more.
Kohli, some head scratching to do. This one on him a bit quicker than he thinks.
Good comeback, boy.
Polite. Good comeback was the call from Satwik Nadagodla behind the stumps. So Polite moves to 30 in only 10 balls. A lot of people in the chat as well. Excited to see Carlton, as you'd imagine. Hello to Maya, to Tarek, to Ninj as well. Andrew Beck, watching from Romania, no doubt. Hello, Andrew. I hope you're well. Ramesh Satheesan is back. Kitty Hundley is joining us from the USA. So we have viewers from all around the world, Rico. And for Carlton, they'll be hoping that they can join Tunbridge Wells from England and Brigade from Ireland in Championship Week. And for any Australian viewers, if you're still up, which you might be, 10 o'clock on the West Coast PM and 1 a.m. on the East. A very famous football team called Carlton in Australia. It's pretty full, but I think it might have been an edge, maybe not. Leg bias is the call. Not a bad shout, this. Maybe pitching outside leg stump.
Yeah.
And the Carlton Blues, very, very famous. The Navy Blues, Australian football team from Melbourne. We had a Carlton supporter up here last week, actually, who was joining us as part of the newspaper group of people that had come down.
That's right, from Sir.
From Sir in English. Play back on strike, though. Flicked away. There's nobody back here. This will run away for 4 more. It's a good chase from Umar Safi, but he won't get there. So Kohli getting a bit too leg stumped. His over goes magical. 21 come off the second, and after 2 overs, it's 41 for no loss.
Yeah, just really good timing of the ball. Just what this is demonstrating, Vinny, is that it's not all about trying to hit the ball as hard as you can, so you can try and take the leather off it. A lot of it's about timing, especially when you've got the pace on, and that's what especially Pillai is demonstrating. Look, 11 balls, 34. Burnett, on the other hand, he's yet to get going. He's just had a couple of deliveries, but he knows what his role is here at the moment. It's just feeding Pillai as much as he can. But the way this has been put away, and I think the word you use, manipulate in the field, has been spot on. Still an over to go in that power play, so they've really got 6 more balls to try and fend off.
See, 3 matches, 3 different winners so far, which is always a good sign. And Carlton, if they can win this match, they'll be the 4th team on 2 points. They only have the 1 match today, the Scottish champions. And they're sticking with pace. I thought maybe it's an opportunity to bowl Taranjeet with some spin in the power play, but they are going for Abdul Asif. First one is short, wide, and it's punched through point. Burnett gets his first boundary. Now there's danger at both ends. That's a nice shot off the back foot. Just waits for it, picks the gap and gets 4.
Yeah, I mean, you see here it's short. It's got the width and no real pace about the delivery, so has the time. And well, these are dangerous times here for Cluj because both batters now look set.
Abdul Asif can bowl with some pace. That just looked like a loose nut, didn't it? Edged and gone, and that's the first wicket. Nadagodla does the rest behind the stumps. Abdul Asif was dispatched for 4 first ball, but it's a good comeback from the all-rounder. And he gets Burnett nicking for 5, and that's the first wicket down in match 4. Carlton are 45 for 1.
Yeah, look, well bowled. I mean, you've just bowled quite a wide delivery that's been cut away. You know you've got to come back with a good one. And he does. Look, he sticks to his guns there, doesn't he? He still goes across the left-hander. Burnett getting a touch on this. What a huge moment this is also for Abdul Asif. But Vinny, we always say, don't we? We always talk about landmarks for European cricketers, especially those that are playing in countries where cricket isn't the dominating sport. Now, we've just got somebody there, Abdul Asif. He's just taken a prize wicket of a Scottish international player. That's huge. That's a huge story.
Yeah, Fraser Burnett looked good, didn't he, when he hit that boundary? I think Abdul Asif will be very happy to see the back of him. And Cluj, I think they are probably the most improved side that we saw back in 2019. And they did not win a single match on that occasion. They had a tough group, to be fair. They had VHC Rotterdam, they had Svanholm in their group. And, still, to get a 1-run win over Brescia CC, the Italian champions, that's a big scalp for them.
Yeah.
And now, look, they haven't had the best start, but that's just a little steadier. Hugo Southwell comes to the crease at number 3. Well, you rugby fans all know Hugo from the rugby pitch, where he made 59 international appearances for Scotland in rugby union. But he's a keen cricketer and played 3 List A matches back around the turn of the century. Makes it sound like a long time ago. I guess it is. But here is Hugo. I think he's really going to enjoy his ECL experience. He's facing up to Abdul Asif. It's a pretty confident start. That's 4. It's on the front foot. It's blasted through the covers. Oh, a bit like blasting through a defence. Hugo Southwell has experience with that. This one, there was no defence about it. He's on the attack. 4 runs to start his knock.
Yeah, Hugo. He comes in probably slightly higher up the order than he would, but he is an attacking, explosive middle order batter. And I think it's a good point to send him in to try and capitalise on the remaining deliveries in this power play.
That wasn't a half volley either. That was just full length, but really nice looking drive. Deep point goes back now. Short and pushes. Southwell gets 1 here. So I think it's important they got that first wicket just to steady them a little bit. I think sometimes they've got a new opponent. Okay, there's big raps on the Scottish, as you can imagine. But for them, they'll have the same kind of issues as England in the first week, as Ireland in the second week, where, sure, they've got a lot of cricket pedigree, but they haven't played this format of the game before. And it is a bit of an adjustment, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Though, I have to say, the way that Pillai has started, you'd wonder.
Short, goes after it, and he's going to get 4 here. This is the risk with the finding up in the circle. And Pillai just has to get any sort of contact on this, and it was always going to fly away. 4 more runs to Carlton.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone for the shorter option, and this one has also been called, correctly so, 1 for the over. 1 hand off the bat, as that one flies away.
I see Wazza in the chat. He's a Carlton Blues fan. Maybe you'll be a fan of the... They mean in the kind of 2-toned blue kits. Looking very cool. They'll get their baggy blues, I'm sure, when they go into the field in the second half of this match. Also a bit of vibes of the New South Wales strip, for those of you watching from Australia. Little edge, deliberately done and very cheekily done by Pillai. He is looking better and better. He's moved into the 40s in no time at all. That takes us to the end of the power play. Very productive one for the Scottish champions. Carlton, they are 58 for 1.
Yeah, delightful. That is delicate little shot. Played it had full control over it. He knows that the ball was coming in short at him. This time it's just a little bit more to the body, so he doesn't have the luxury of pulling it away and just thinks, okay, I'm just going to give this a little nudge. 4 more. Great start from Pillai. And Carlton racing away. Good power play. 58 for 1 after 3.
That's when you're seeing them well, when you're starting to hit those. And now finally we'll go to spin. I thought that was a bit of a risk to stick with pace, because I think Pillai in particular has been pretty brutal on the pace. Does pick up a wicket, but goes for 17 in his over. Now we will go to Taranjit Singh with his off spin in over number 4. Taranjit, a season campaigner on ECN. Also will open the batting. A little bit short to the gap, but I think it's just a single. That's a good young player who's come into the side. Umesh Safi doing the fielding. He's a youngster, and he comes in at the expense of Nishant Devray, who was originally in the selected 11, but he had a bit of a mishap in the warm-up. He wasn't feeling particularly good. I think he might have just had a collision with a teammate, so Umesh Safi gets his chance. Nice to see him out there. Leg side, take by Nadagodla, but it will be a wide. So the Sheriff, Charles Croucher, out there with Stefan Gooch.
Just tries an interesting shot here. You see, just trying a cheeky little flick. And almost catching the keeper.
Yeah, I was lucky he didn't get a little feather on that, because Nadagodla was in good position.
Yeah.
Just stepping away polite.
Interesting this news. Taranjit wasn't going to bowl in the first match.
Yeah, well, changed his mind pretty quickly. Oh, this is half a chance. It's a tough one.
Loses the ball, doesn't he? And then he got like here. Totally loses it. But what an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, this is a quarter chance for the keeper. So he has to go a long way, but if he gathers that, I think it's stumped. Will go down as a wide. It's the kind of thing Cluj would have liked. This time is a wide. I don't mind Nadagodla. Always the way as a keeper. It's never easy down the leg side because you're unsighted for so long. And also, you're kind of playing when you see a ramp to maybe react to a deflection off the bat.
Risky shot to play. This time he reaches out to this one, take a single, because he's trying to play this one. Stefan Gooch, he's quite happy, he's comfortable. He's trying to play that shot, but the fine leg is just plays for it. He's not trying to get any power in it.
Yeah, it's just a deflection. I don't think that's taken by Nadagodla anyway.
You see that bat plug-in again.
Yeah.
You have to be so careful.
So something the players are going to have to learn really faster in Group C. I don't think I'm ever running off the pitch if I can avoid it, even if it's on the edge of the artificial surface, because if you run on the grass, we have seen bats plugging and people getting run out. So I think, I know it's a bit counterintuitive, but I think running on the surface is the smart way to do it. Taranjit avoided a boundary so far. This one goes straight through everyone, and I think this is going to be buys, and well, they'll get 2 of them. And Nadagodla, I wasn't expecting this, but it snuck through.
Fielder's done very well here. For a moment when he goes in the air, I thought he's going to throw this over the boundary rope.
Yeah, I thought it was good as well. This is where Nadagodla just a bit late to get across this time. Yeah, I was worried that was going to go the other side of the fence, and we've seen that before.
Certainly have.
Back to live action. And he knocks him over, so spin does the trick. And Hugo Southwell, he played a sparkling cover drive first ball, but the spin of Taranjit undoes him. So a very good over from Taranjit Singh. The 4 off the bat, or the 4 off the bowling analysis, I should say, plus the 2 buys. But now the big wicket of Southwell, who's got to go for 6. That's 4 overs down, 64 for 2.
Well, Taranjit Singh, as I was saying, he wasn't meant to bowl today. He believes he's got an injury, but he was fortunate to come on the bowl in the first match, and he just carried on the good work that he's done. He took 2 wickets in that one, and here he is again taking another day. Really well bowled.
Yeah, I think that's fake news. There's no way you're getting the ball out of Taranjit Singh's hand. There's a bit of grandstanding, but it's good to see him out there. Hugo Southwell, he'll be disappointed with the stroke, I think. Trying to hit the ball into the jungle, but he goes 4 for 6. And score 64 for 2. And that will bring Ali Shah to the crease. Vinny Sounder here, Mr. Maximo, along with Rico 4. Hope you're going well. And once again, we get to welcome a new country into the ECL. Of course, we've expanded from 8 nations back in 2019 to 29 nations this year. So welcome to all of our new viewers. If you are new this week, perhaps you're watching from Scotland or I know we had some Turkish viewers as well earlier. Hopefully you can stick around a while, because there'll be a lot of exciting cricket coming your way. It's good recovery from the young man. It goes a throw, but just a single. But Pillai, I think he's the big fish they need to get now, because the longer he stays there, this total is going to spiral out of control. Cluj are no strangers to chasing down big totals. They had a best chase last year, which is the best of the whole season in over 1,200 games. They chased down 159 against ACCB in a match where they conceded 77 in the power play. In that match, then there was a 5 wide. So after 3 overs, essentially they were 82. And they were able to rein that back in and chase it down. They're going to have to do something similar here against Carlton. This is hit away, and it's going to be 4. Left-hander enjoying that, Ali Shah. This was a little bit short and leg stumpish from a man that's come into the side, Sukran Sahi. He's a player we did see in ECL 19. This isn't a good delivery. Put away nicely, and that'll be a confidence booster for Ali Shah.
Yeah, just a little bit too short. Wasn't the best of deliveries, and the batter has plenty of time to work that away.
This one isn't a good ball either, and he's overcompensated, and well, watch out, that's gone a long way. They might have to cut Chabas back. Shah goes bang, Maximo, and he takes Carlton up into the 70s.
Well, Shah, it's all about the club's development program. Strong left-hander. He cemented his place in the Carlton side now. He's got a reputation for serious power hitting, and we've just seen some of that there. Back-to-back boundaries for him.
Hasn't got it right, though, Sahi. He was a little bit short, and then he's overdone the reply. Definitely a focus on spin now, I think. Yeah, this one's another full toss. Hit really hard. He's picked out the fielder, so Sahi gets away with it. Just a single.
Eddie Shah is also the team's physio, because he is a qualified physiotherapist. So if you've got that twinge, you know the man to go to.
True all-rounder.
I know you got a bit of back trouble. You were complaining about it last night. You thought you overdid it.
I'm fighting fit. Don't worry about that. Hello to Hawkmoon, who's watching from Aberdeen. Says it's sunny but cold there. Pillai is in the air. He's backing back and he's caught. So he's gone for 44. And that's an important wicket. And Suki got some treatment, but Rajshekara takes the catch. That's a very, very useful scalp. His over ends up not being a disaster. You can see he's 12, but picks up the big wicket of Pillai. Very quick knot, going at about 2.5 a ball, but he's got to go at 76 for 3.
Yeah, look, this is a huge wicket, and you can hear the volume levels. They went up because they know that he was a dangerous bat. He was hitting the ball well and fighting the middle of the bat on, consistently, but he goes. So get the breakthrough, Cluj.
Once again, you see spin being an effective weapon. So I know they went to Abdulatif third over to get the 1 wicket, but pretty expensive. The last 2 overs have seen 2 wickets fall and 18 runs, so not too bad. May rue the start, but you'd have to say Pillai, very, very nice looking innings, 2 sixes and 7 fours. Excellent start to his ECL campaign.
Yeah, gets a nice warm round of applause when he goes back. It's a good positive start, and I'm sure you're going to see plenty more from him.
Here's Taranjit Singh back. And this one's not coming back. This is launched all the way. Oh, that was right near the cars. And watch out. But the result, Maximo 6 to Ali Shah. He's got the big hitting credentials, and he's not afraid to show them.
Yeah, I mean, this one, it was just there, wasn't it, in the slot. It's bowling to the left, he's down the leg side, he's drifting. He just plants that foot forward, gets the one knee down, and absolutely clobbers it. Big hit.
Yeah, that was really well struck. It's just a subtle line error from Taranjit Singh, who comes back with a comeback ball. This one's just worked for 1. And Shuja Khan comes to the crease in over number 6. Say Carlton, I've liked their approach so far. I think they've been pretty selective. They haven't overvalued their wickets. And most of the time, their shot selection's been good, with a couple of exceptions. Credit to Cluj as well. They're just trying to hang in there. They do have 3 wickets in the first half of the innings. Now we'll get to have a look at Shuja Khan. One here, Shuja Khan. He's played age group cricket for Scotland. So I'm sure that's good experience to take into this as he steps up to the senior game. Taranjit Singh, exception of that 6, he's been outstanding. How is he going to deal with Ali Shah? What if he gathered that the first time? Might have been more than half a chance, but instead will be another single. Just having to deal with a spin.
Bat in the air there.
Yeah, this is why you've got to be careful where you're running. Got to get on the pitch, then you can slide you back with some sort of confidence. Nice looking drive. Should be handled down there by Abdul Asif. I think also it's all about playing well. So I said that Cluj are no strangers to a big chase. And they're going to have to deal with bowlers they haven't seen before. Goes again, and this time it's going to be 6 more. Say Smas, and well taken in the crowd.
Can only be one man, can't it? That's the 200%, isn't it?
Missed 100%. Well, that's another catch. He took a good one earlier. Ahmadullah Safi. He just plucks that one out of the crowd, but I think that Sharp is happy with the result. That's 6 overs down now. Score is 92 for 3. Well, that over from Taranjit was bookended with sixes. There were singles in the middle, so 16 off that over, and it's 92 for 3. 4 overs remaining at this pace. They're on for 150. And who's to say they can't do that with Ali Shah there and hitting the ball as well as he is. But still, all up, not a bad 2 overs from Taranjit Singh. 1 for 20. And they are going to go back to Gransahi. The issue after this over will be, well, do they go back to the pace or maybe try another spin option? Challenge ball should be out. And Taranjit takes it. So another wicket this time is Shuja Khan who took it on. Sugran Sahi, well, he is on a hat-trick now after he removes Khan. Very first ball. Nice catch taken by Taranjit Singh. Fresh from the bowling crease. That's the 4th wicket down now. It's 92 for 4.
Well, Taranjit Singh is coming into his own. This is normally where he would be fielding as well. And takes this really well. Good technique. Gets his balance perfect. And then makes sure it goes right into the middle of those hands. So nicely done. Another wicket goes down. So they're just keeping themselves in this. The last thing they want is a couple of bad overs. They keep plucking away, getting the wickets. And they know that even if it's a 120, like you say, Vinny, they're more than capable of chasing that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I suppose they did chase 159 in the ESS Romania last year. It's the highest chase we've seen, high successful chase. But anyway, is our hat-trick hoodoo going to be broken yet? We haven't seen one in 2022. It's Rory McCann, the former Irish international, coming in at 6. Facing Sahi on a hat-trick. Won't be a hat-trick. Pushes, runs, has to hustle. Gets 1. Now Ali Shah's the man you want to get before he can do too much more damage. He's going at 3 plus the ball at the moment. I think probably not a bad shout to go back to pace because Shah's been pretty good against the spin. Yeah. Maybe time for a change. Again, sometimes it's just about disrupting the rhythm of the innings. Oh, this one almost chopped onto the stumps, but it bounces over and also bounces over Nadagodla. So just 1.
The single. Yeah, I was going to say there, nice time to mention Rory McCann scored over 1,900 runs for Carlton, so he's averaging around 40. And he's another one that's a head of sport at Merchiston Castle School. So the kids there watching with interest. This is really flighted up. Just gets a single, not able to find the gap. Taranjit doing the fielding once more.
Nice shot. And Rory McCann, he's a bit of a veteran of sorts. He's played 8 one-day internationals. He's played 3 T20 internationals for Ireland. Plays this cricket in Edinburgh now. Goes after it, doesn't quite get it, but he gets it enough. And this one's into the fan zone by the giant ball. The result, Maximo Ali Shah into the 30s.
Yeah, Shah, look, not only is he into the 30s, but he's not wasting no time doing it. He's going at a good rate, over 3 a ball. And this one, he just literally just slaps this over the boundary. And that's why, as I said at the time, he's known as an aggressive, powerful hitter of the ball. And he's showing it, the left-hander.
Last ball the over. Reverse Malachi, misses out. And that's the end of 7. The score, 101 for 4. See, just getting inventive. It's the length makes that awkward. Almost yorks himself, Ali Shah. Nice take by Nadagodla up to the stumps. So 7 overs down, 101 for 4 as we look at the format, and there are 6 teams each week. And they'll already have qualified for finals Friday, but they play for the double chance on Super Thursday. The bottom 3, well, they're playing for their tournament lives. We have the finals on Friday. We'll know exactly who will join Tunbridge Wells from England and Brigade, the All-Ireland champions. That's one of 5 teams to come back in week 6, championship week of the Bet to Ball European Cricket League 2022. Now they are going to go to Saini, who's their death bowling specialist. Here he is bowling to McCann. Knocks this down for 1. Got to say, there's a bit of chat at the moment about deep-fried Mars bars. Have you ever had deep-fried Mars bars? It's a Scottish delicacy.
I've never had it, but I've heard plenty about it. I think the worst, not the worst, but the most sort of exciting bit of stuff like that I've had is with the old pineapple. You know, the old pineapple fritters.
I do like the old fried pineapple.
Chocolate, no. But no, there's plenty of talk about it.
Yeah. I haven't had one. I've got to admit, you know, I'm half Scottish. I haven't been there for a while, though. It must have been, 15 years ago I was there. Wow. Show my age. Short. This is in the gap, though, and so it's going to be 4. It's a good effort from Abdulaziz, but he couldn't get there. It wasn't really time for him, Shah, but the result is 4 more runs. And Carlton, they've passed the 100 mark now, and they're really motoring towards the end of this innings.
Sí, qué grande este jugador. Tiene mucha fuerza. Y 4 carreras más. And watch out, Raluca, that's coming your way. Dan Horus, the ECM photographer. Nice shot of this one.
Got to pitch up, Saini. Another good length ball, sliced away, misfielded, mishandled, and the result is 4 more. That's the captain that time, Arun Kumar. Always have to deal with the side spin off these. It can be a bit awkward, but he just wasn't able to catch up with that. 4 carreras más.
Yeah, mistake here from the skipper. He needs to stop this. He doesn't. And as soon as he totally misjudges it, and it's 4 more. So real pressure now on the bowler. But Shah, he's motoring away.
Yeah.
At a pace, Vinny, at a pace.
Yeah, well, he's at risk of overtaking Pillai, who made 44 of 18, opening up. Just get 1 here. Calls 2, but not too many 2s on this ground. It's fielded adequately. That's just 1. Hey, so, yeah, I was going to say, I'm a bit of a fan of the black pudding. That's a very Scottish delicacy.
Black pudding, yes, yeah.
Black pudding, which is
what about haggis? Are you a haggis fan?
Haven't had haggis. Scotch eggs?
Never?
Yes. Scotch eggs?
Nah.
Scotch eggs I like.
No, haggis, yeah. Any day. Black pudding, haggis, yeah, I like the haggis.
My grandparents, the Scottish ones. Had a kind of tea towel in the kitchen with all the Scottish recipes, including haggis.
Yeah. This one was the short, slower ball.
Yeah.
And yeah, well bowled. He keeps it inside the old tram line, if you like, for the umpires.
He had a hit though. Okay, I'm just searching for this. But, yeah, useful dots. I mean, you wouldn't say that the Scottish champs have battered Cluj out of it just yet. We get to the end of the 8th over. And there's the Nelson up there at the moment. 1-1-1 for 4.
Yeah, I mean, look, Carlton are no different to the other sides here. They haven't really played much cricket. I know that they were hitting a few balls just to get their eye in. I was talking to some of the coaching staff that were giving me that information. Stevie Gilmore and also the tour manager, John Beattie. And, so, yeah, they're going to be a bit rusty themselves. Oh, that's a peach. What a delivery this is. Well, this one cuts him inside out, Vinny.
The first ball of his first over, Abdulaziz, was a real loose nut, and it got whacked to the boundary by Burnett. And this was no loose nut from Abdulaziz. You just know it takes 8 overs to warm up when he's out there.
Such a nice delivery.
Pushes, gets 1, moves to 42. Got to say hello to Lucas Stubbs as well, who's watching from Croatia, and also got Andrew Farr watching from the Netherlands. A couple of players that we've seen in the ECS before. Great to have you with us.
McCann now, he's finding it difficult to try and keep up with this bat. I think he's probably better off here, just trying to push for the single. The way Shah's going at the moment, try and give Shah as much of the strike he can.
We could do this. It's a reverse, but straight off the index finger of McCann, who's going to be doing the keeping today. He's not a regular wicket keeper, but he's the option they've chosen to be behind the stumps. It's probably not great when you're getting wrapped on the knuckles like that, but he does get the single that takes him away from the strike. Shah going off a half century. An over and a half to come. He's on 42. And will he though? Because this one should be taken. And the fielder does take it. That's Gaurav Mishra. So another Carlton player gets to the 40s but won't get out of them. But still a good knock from Ali Shah. Good start for his tournament. He makes 42 off 17. Abdul Asif with the wicket. And Carlton are 113 for 5.
Good time to get a wicket because you got the main man who was hitting the ball well. And that means you've got McCann there who's yet to hit a boundary himself. And you better coming in. So a score that probably they would have been eyeing up around about 130 at the end of the 8th. Well, some nice tidy bowling here now. Well, they might even keep them to, if it all goes to plan, maybe about 125. They'd be happy with that.
Oh, they certainly would, especially after the start. Still, it was a good knock from Ali Shah. 4 sixes and 3 fours in there. And about 2.5 a ball. It's good going. Imam Mohammed, another player with some international experience coming in, but good ovation for Ali Shah. I think Carlton have picked this up pretty quickly, the T10 format. Sometimes it's a bit counterintuitive about how you have to go about your innings. You have to think on the spot, think quickly, make good decisions under pressure. Bit of an off-cutter from Asif. Imam Mohammed just not able to get it past the bowler. You can sense Cluj, they're still pushing here. It's been a long day for them, of course. They'd be buoyed by the 1-run win over Brescia CC. It's been a good comeback in the second half of this innings. Considering they were 76 at the halfway point, 92 after 6. Hit well, but hit to the fielder. This will just be one. Takes us to the end of the over. Carlton 114 for 5. And Saini coming back to bowl the last over. He conceded 10 in his last over. If he does the same again, 124. Certainly think they'll have to bat well, but it's within the realm of possibility. But my big question as well, as alluded to in the chat, will Cluj be able to handle the heat? Because maybe the bowling will be a bit of a step up from what they're used to domestically, but certainly think it'll be an exciting second half of the game regardless.
Yeah, I mean, look, the last 2 overs, just 13 runs. That last one from Asif was fantastic. 2 for 19 he's taken.
Bites back. Well, ooh, this could have been really close.
Well into the danger end there, McCann. Clean pickup, good early release. And, well, the race was on.
Yeah, it would have been real tight.
Yeah.
This man here now, Imam Mohammed, who's come in. Remember, he's played Scotland International, and in 2006, under the 19s, he played against the likes of Rohit Puraj. And he's got a claim to fame.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Tanishwar Pujara's a good player.
Yeah.
But don't know how he'd go at T10 cricket, mind you. Here's Saini.
This is bad. I mean, this is very close to being a no ball. And is that this? We've seen him do this before. Is that
wasn't as bad as he thought?
Slow.
I think he sees him going that way, so he says, "All right, I'll try and sneak it in," but he just missed. Half a metre. Come on, Vasu is the call. Saini. Swing and miss. Yeah, Saini, if you missed it earlier, he's a good story. He's a player we saw back in 2019 in the first ever ECL. Cluj weren't able to win a game. We saw him batting 3 in that series. I think we'll see more like 5 or 6 in this series for Cluj. He's got a lot of experience under his belt in the format now. Hello to his wife Alex as well. The reason that he stuck around in Romania and is still there to this day. A little bit of length, worked around. They want 2 here. Good throw. Wouldn't allow it. So McCann just gets the single. It's just been really good from Cluj. I like their attitude that they're bringing to the table in this series. I just think of the confidence they have now as a unit. Okay, they got a bit of a pasting in the power play. Since then, they've given a very good account of themselves. In fact, They pretty much scored as many runs in the next 6.5 overs as they scored in that 3-over power play. Tries to get funky, and gets more bat on the way back from Umar Mohammed. Another top ball.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice of shot. And looks like he's getting in the right position for it. The shot is definitely on, but you've got to execute it. What it ends up being is a dot ball.
A reverse ramp. Yeah. He changed his mind a few times based on the line of the ball.
2 deliveries to come in. A great fight back this from Cluj.
Got to dodge a boundary though. Oh, this one isn't good. I think this one will be a no ball.
Well, I said one was bad. Well, this is badder. This one is a no ball. I said the other one was close to. You see what he's trying to do? He's trying to do something different all the time. But this one, well, you didn't want to do that. So this is going to be one.
That
more importantly, a free hit.
Bounces just before the line of the stumps, which makes it a no ball. If it bounced after the line of the stumps, it would have just been a wide.
Yeah.
But what it means is that this is a free hit coming up for Umar Mohammed. Can really pin his ears back. Misses. And now they should get a run out here. Vasu will execute the run out, so he can be run out off a free hit. And I think Umar Mohammed, he decides, no, I'm going to stay here. So McCann's going to get run out. I wonder a little bit about it. Again, miscommunication between the batters. They need to work out what their plan was. If he missed it, maybe they go and at least try and get a different striker for the last ball. But yeah, Vasu gets out of a tight spot, and that's the 6th wicket to fall now. With the ball remaining, it's 118 for 6.
Yeah, well, we know the claim. Let's go back to that. The new batter comes in. So we were talking about Umar Mohammed. Well, he claims that in that Under-19 World Cup that he hit Ravinder Jadeja for a big straight 6.
There you go.
That's his claim. So
still dining out on it.
That's what he needs to do here, doesn't he? Let's see if he can find that form and do the same. And another interesting fact. Well, we know we've got a physiotherapist in the team. Well, if you need any dental work doing, he's also a cosmetic and sports dental surgeon. So maybe he's one that probably doesn't want batters to wear lids.
Another all-rounder. Well, yeah. Hopefully the helmets mean that he doesn't have too much work. Okay, last ball coming up. 118 on the board. Goes for it, and they're going to finish with a bang. Maximo! Well, it turns out to be a good idea for Umar Mohammed, who stays at the business end and gets the 6 off the last ball of the innings. Well, he doesn't hit this one off Ravindra Jadeja. He hits it off Vasu Saini, but still pretty good last over. Ends up going for 10, which is kind of what I said. If it goes for 10 again, it's still keeping it in the realm of possibility as Carlton, the Scottish champs, finish 124 for 6 off their 10 overs. Sets up a tricky chase for Cluj, but they've chased more before. The question will be, can they handle Carlton and what they're going to bring with the ball? As it was time to say hello to our 6th and final Group C side. Well, it's nice to see the captains exchanging pleasantries, and there we had the all-Aussie crew of Charles Croucher and Stefan Gooch out there in the middle. And it was a really bright start, particularly from Pillai, and he played some very nice strokes in his 44. We just got the ball rolling in a decent power play. 58 came off the first 3 overs for Carlton, the Scottish champions.
Yeah, Pillai, well, he was on a high as he was hitting up and away. Well, helped by a little bit of fortune there, but some of the shots he played, the timing was just exquisite. The breakthrough was needed, and it did come. It was a really good, sharp catch from the bowling, as if from, and he got that behind the stumps, but not before. There's a few more boundaries. This one was a great shot, but the next ball, well, tries to do the same again, and there's the catch. But, they needed to get that breakthrough, they did, but then came in Hugo. You know all about Hugo. Well, he's got 59 international caps with the rugby. But this time round, the big hitter, the hard hitter who's been sent up the order, couldn't quite get going. So Ranjit Singh had, once again, another good day out there in the field. He'll be hoping to continue with the good form that he's shown with the ball, with the bat. I mean, he's a key. If he can give them a good start, who knows? Well, this one was a full toss, and it was launched out of here. We did see some good batting, but that was the end. And, well, Dharanjit does get a wicket. And it was all happy stuff for the moment, but then, well, there was some more hard hitting to come. It was a turn of Ali Sharp. He played some nice shots. Dharanjit Singh in the action once more, getting the wicket of Hugo. And then, well, the captain won't be too happy to watch that one. Arun, that one eludes him. And, another wicket. safe hands, and they just stayed in the hunt. And there's this run out at the end. We thought, well, it was all about then the batter saying, yeah, I'm going to stay at this end. I'm going to stay at this end for a reason. And that
19 to 30 clubs from all across the continent being represented here over 6 weeks. A cricketing feast on the Costa del Sol, brought to you by Bet2Ball and Kiba Inu. Each week, 6 different clubs go head-to-head for the right to represent their club and country in the championship week, week 6. Ultimately, on the 18th of March, we'll find out who will be the kings of European cricket. Will it be VRC Rotterdam once again, who won the title? The only other showing of this series in 2019. Some 2.5 years ago now. The pandemic scuttling plans for tournaments in 2020 and 2021. But here we are, kicking off the ECN calendar in 2022 with this fantastic tournament that sees 144 T10 matches over the 6 weeks. You see there's Scotland represented here for the first time. It's wonderful to have them a part of the ECN family. And they certainly have made a decent start, although they did get 58 of those runs in the power play. The next 7 overs, they were only able to get, I say only, 66 runs. So almost the same in the next 7 as they did in the first 3. So it'll be 125 for victory. Cluj, the Romanian champions, ready to open their innings. Taranjit Singh coming off a duck. And he won't get another duck because his first one is going to go all the way. Maximo! An ideal start for Cluj, who did pull off a dramatic victory in match 2, beating Brescia CC by just the single run, 92 to 91. And right here, right now, Taranjit Singh gets off his duck in style. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo for ECN today. Joining me in the commentary box is Rico Full.
Thank you very much, Vinny. Always good to be back, and always good to see a contest like this. A nice run chase. Taranjit starting with a Maximo.
This time he'll get more runs. How many more? Just the one. This is the bottom edge. This is Shivam Gupta. As he goes 6 and 1. Nadagodla comes back on strike, and Nadagodla's the player I think has improved his batting a lot over the last 2 or 3 years. Particularly, I think he has the freedom to go for his shots. We saw him a little bit stifled in the previous edition of the ECL, the first time we saw Cluj, the Romanian champions. Leg side, striving for extra pace from Gupta, but that'll just be wide. So one more. And look, Rico, it's a lot of runs to get, but certainly a confident-looking start. And I think Cluj will feel like anything's possible after that victory earlier today.
Yeah, I think they will do. I mean, they've got a victory from nowhere against Brescia. And that, as they rightly said, was without some of their big guns really going.
This is a nice-looking shot. Yes, it's cut off. Nice fielding by Umar Mohammed. So it's just a single. Yeah, I mean, if you told me that Cluj would beat Brescia CC and Taranjit would make a duck, I'd say that's actually a really good sign. Maybe not for Taranjit, but for the fact that, you know, they really did rely on him. If I go back to that 2019 tournament that we saw them in ECL 19, you know, they really relied on him for runs, and not many people were helping him. Another wide down leg side. So, I mean, it just shows you how far they've come. Some of the additions with Abdul Asif come into the lineup. Rajshekara, even though we didn't quite see the best of him earlier. Masu Saini, who was batting 3. Well, he's now listed at 5. And, yeah, someone like Nadagodla as well, who did play, but just kind of stepping up and being more of a key cog in that top order. Halfway through this first over. Already 10 on the board. This one does get through. Taranjit.
Better delivery that from Gupta. Just taking a few deliveries to get his line. He's relocated from Malaysia in 2018 to Edinburgh to study. He's at the university there at the moment. So, Fari Seema gets the ball to move around.
Just struggling a little bit with his control. You can understand that. Goes straight and goes long. Well, that one is banked out of the ground. Maximo! And 2 sixes in the opening over for Taranjit Singh.
Well, Taranjit Singh, well, maybe this morning he didn't quite have his aloo paranthas. Well, he's made time to get his lunch in. Garam garam paronte khade lagde hai. The bowling with chicket diya. Hun shakke bhi marda. Well, that's aloo paronta power. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it was pitched up. Went the journey. Last ball of the over. Oh, bit of a false shot. Won't get a run here, but still, that's a very healthy first over for Cluj. The Romanian champs, after one over, they're 16 for no loss. And while we are here chatting to each other, Rico, in the chat, we have been joined by the one and only Pavel Florin, watching from Romania. Hello, Pavel. I hope you're well. Of course, we're missing you. Playing cricket now for the Bucharest Gladiators in Romania, but there's been some exciting cricket going on there. I remember they had a huge upset, the Gladiators, over ACCB during that tournament last year. Pavel was helping out on commentary on occasion as well. So, Pavel, hopefully you're still enjoying your cricket, and I'm sure he'll be watching with interest. His teammates, of course, in ECL 19 here. That's a really good start, isn't it? But they have to sustain it. I mean, you look at that Scottish innings, the way that they were off to a really good start. Their first 3 overs were 19, 22 and 17. Just kind of lost their way to an extent for the rest of the innings, with the exception probably of Ali Shah. Going for spin now, over number 2. And Angus Beattie will be the bowler.
Left arm spin.
Goes straight, and this pops us into a gap. Won't be an easy stop. It's actually really well done. It's kind of lazy cricket from Nadagotla, who thought he was going to get 4. Well, now they're going to go. Oh, could be big trouble. This is really unnecessary.
Well, this is hit the batter, the non-striker.
Yeah.
If this goes to the bowler, he's out. I mean, terrible misser.
Well, see,
Watch
does he change his?
No.
I don't think he has time to change his course. So I think he's going to get away with that. I mean, that would have been such an unnecessary disaster.
There you go. Nice to see the Turkish champions. They're enjoying watching the cricket.
Didn't feel that. I mean, that was just a total. I'm trying to think of something I can say on air, but it was a mess up between the 2 batters, looking for an extra run, which you can understand, but it was just never there. Oh, he sweeps, and he sweeps very sweetly over backward square. That's another Maximo for Taranjeet Singh. He's coming off a duck, and he's very, very sure that he's not going to get another one here as he races to 19. A really good power play this at the moment for Cluj.
Yeah, this is just a beautiful shot. It just helps us along the way. Like the way he gets a big stride in, gets himself in the right position, and then he backs himself to put it away.
Uses the angle, doesn't he, from Beattie, who's just sliding it in more than anything. Now, thinking about a field change, but they decide to keep the man out in front of square leg. Pulls length back a bit. This one's hit hard. Hit straight to the fielder, though. And they just got to try and keep ahead of that rate.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm looking at 25 every 2 overs. That's where you need to be. Those kind of mini targets. This one well done by Beattie to get down to it. Top ball.
Yeah, good stuff from Beattie. I mean, he's a top performer, isn't he? Remember, you've been told he took 4 for 15 in the 2021 Scotland T20 final, so you know he's a key player for them.
Goes over the offside. This is a clever shot. Good batting. Not getting too leg side conscious. Taranjeet Singh got something pitched up, and he just elevates it over the offside. He moves into the 20s. And Cluj, looking very healthy at the moment, moved to 27 without loss.
Yeah, this is a really good shot. It's a shot of a man who's in confident mood, a man who backs himself. And that's what Taranjeet does. You see, he stands tall, doesn't try to overhit it. It's all about getting himself in the right spot, using his wrists, getting those wrists into play, hitting it over the top, and another boundary. This is a good start from them.
Yeah, I mean, Cluj, if they win this game, and they'll go to the top of the table. They've been training really hard for this. I know they've been putting in a lot of work behind the scenes to be prepared in a way which maybe they didn't have the ability to be prepared for the tournament back in 2019 when they were one of 8 clubs to compete. It's a really big show with 30 clubs from 29 countries. So yeah, the spin wasn't the worst over from Beattie, but still, Cluj ahead of the rate. The next mini target would be 50 off 4 overs. Going to go back to Shuja Khan. And we're going to start with, this one's gone all the way, in fact, Maximo! 6 to Nadagotla. And Shuja Khan just getting a little bit too short. It's more kind of top edge, just carries. Good eyes from the Sheriff, Charles Croucher, who spotted it went all the way, and a great start to the third over for the Cluj.
Yes, I mean, well, now Natty Gotler is on the act as well, and the huge roar every time that ball passes the boundary rope from the Cluj supporters.
Pushes it wide outside the off stump. So with every run, you can see Cluj just getting a little bit more confident. And look, sometimes the seamers in particular, they're not used to kind of landing on this artificial surface. We know that from some of the bowlers from England and Ireland. It's a bit of an adjustment for them as well. Feeling for this. Good comeback from Shuja Khan.
Yeah, this one is in the right area. He's finally got that one in the right corridor, if you like. And you see even he's off balance playing it. One hand comes off the bat too. You just need a good finish to an over, Carlton. Give them the upper hand again.
Yeah, has another look at this one. It's a wide. And look, the umpires, they will be pretty strict on the wides, I mean, to prevent this kind of negative bowling. And so the stumps are there for a reason. Even though he sneaks across, I still think that's a wide. He steps across after the ball's past him.
I think he moves afterwards, so that's fine. I mean, if it's done beforehand, and that's probably what the umpire Stephen Gooch is just explaining to the fielders.
On the walk, goes up in the air, but this one should be taken. The fielder goes back and takes it. Very safe catch. And so, unfortunately for Natagotla, that's the end of the road for him. It was a nice catch out there. Had to be taken. And yeah, that was Pillai, who had a very good game with the bat so far. This time he's in a key position. It wasn't particularly easy with the sun on the other side of the field, but it will be the first wicket to fall. So Shuja Khan takes it. Carlton have their first ECL wicket, 35 for 1, Cluj.
Yeah, I mean, that's just frustration. I think getting those couple of dot balls in. I'm not saying that the shot had to be played, but as we know, a lot of these batters, they only know how to play one way, and he'll feel that after he's found the middle of his bat a few times, that's the shot he was prepared to take on. But well, was that man again, Arun Pillai, taking a very good catch. As you said, Vinny, went a long way up in the air.
Yeah.
He's pretty close to the boundary as well, so he judged it really well.
That's a regulation catch, more or less, but there's no easy catches when you're under the bright lights of the ECN. And so, yeah, Natagotla, that's what you're going to get from him. He's going to play his shots. As Anand Rajshekara comes out at number 3. They might go for Abdul Asif. They went last game, but Rajshekara, he can give it a whack if he gets going as well. Keep up to the stumps. Rajshekara pushes, runs. Early response from Taranjeet gets him to the other end. Especially with Natagotla gone, I think Taranjeet does have to go on with it. If he can get a half century or so, I think puts him in a really good position to win the match.
Yeah, what he doesn't want to do here, though, he doesn't want to put his team under pressure by giving his wicket away at this point.
There he goes in the air, and this one's going to be a real touch-and-go job, and he sticks the landing. That's 2 in the over. What a good catch that is from Aaron Pillai. And Taranjeet, well, it would have been 6, but the fielder was standing guard. He takes a very, very good catch. Sometimes the best catches aren't the funky ones. He just knew, he summed up the situation. He thought that he could land inside the field of play, so he doesn't throw it away. He just jumps straight up, jumps straight down, and lands with a little bit of room to spare. So Pillai gets 2 in the over, as does the bowler, Shuja Khan. And both openers go in the third over, 36 for 2.
Yeah, big moment. That's exactly what I was saying that Cluj needed to avoid. You lose one opener, you just need to spend maybe not too many balls, but a couple of balls just to rethink, regroup, because you know you lose 2 wickets like that in that one over and both the openers are gone. Batters that were playing well, and Taranjeet hit the ball really well. It just all of a sudden it just gives the upper hand once again to Carlton now. So, but again, quality catch. He patrols that boundary really well. A lot of players, I think, your good observation, Vinny. A lot of players would have opted not to take the catch and just keep the ball safe from going over the boundary. But he nails the landing. I think 10 out of 10 for that.
Yeah, I was going to say. I know it's not a winter Olympic sport, the gymnastics, but he did stick the landing. Yeah, and I think he could stand still there, and he knew he was inside the boundary, and he assessed he could kind of jump straight up and straight down. So he didn't have to get creative, throwing the ball away or throwing to himself or throwing to a teammate. Really nice bit of catching from Pillai. Now, they just got to be careful here. Cluj, they lost both openers. There's one more ball to go in the power play. 2 for 9 in this over from Shuja Khan. And here is Abdulatif, coming out number 4 this time. He's a guy if he can get going. He'll make the ground look very, very small. But still, Shuja to finish the over. Beats him for a bit of bounce outside the off stump. Nice take from Rory McCann as we get to the end of the power play, and it's 36 for 2.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, with those 2 wickets coming in that last over, you'd say it's very evenly poised here now. I mean, at one point, if it weren't for those wickets, or even if it was just the one and Taranjeet was still there, you'd say, well, okay, it's not a bad one for Cluj. But Carlton, with those 2, they're back in this. So I think now, really, this partnership between these 2 is crucial. They've got to, I mean, one of these 2 batters has to do what Carlton did, maybe go on to score 40-plus runs and then be supported by the others.
Exactly. So, looks like we're going to over number 4, which means up to 5 outfielders will be allowed from this point in time. Adil Raza will be the bowler for Carlton, the Scottish champions. Coming with some of his leg spin. This one just hurries on, good at fielding. Go gadget arm. So it's Alistair Evans, captain, who I think the plan is for him to bowl in this match. He's a player with a lot of international experience, high-level experience. A little bit short again. Will he get away with it? Well, this time he will. Maximo! That'll be a confidence booster for Anand Rajshekara. The first one was a little bit short, didn't get out of the infield. This one leaves the building, and 6 runs to Cluj.
Shekara goes shaka. And you'll know that he can be hitting a couple of those and over and maintain this partnership. It should be enough to take Cluj to what will be a famous victory. That rate required, around 13. You wouldn't want it to go beyond that, so it's important that they do get these boundaries.
Goes to reverse. Not quite sure about the percentages of that. Nice take by Rory McCann, who's done a pretty good job behind the stumps, I've got to say.
Yeah, I mean, interesting choice. You'd think you'd just put the foot out there and go for that shot sort of over at the point area where a fielder's just moved to now. That was vacant.
Pedal length, takes it on. This one might be a 3rd catch, and this time he spills it. Wow, you wouldn't put anyone else's money on that being dropped by a man that's just taken 2 very good catches. Better than very good in the last over. Pillai. Yeah. Well, he has grasped that one, unexpectedly so.
Yeah, look, he changes his mind, I think. I think he's running in. I think he wants to take it fingers pointing up. Then right at the last minute, he decides to change his mind.
Yeah, this one, good length, just beating the batter in flight. I think you still have to be brave here if you're Cluj. Let's see if he's a hitter. Goes again, but he hasn't got this. And this time it's Umar Mohammed, and he won't drop it. So that's a big wicket. Abdulatif just misjudging the pace of the ball. And Adil Raza, he gets his first wicket. I argue that he should have had one earlier in the over. But the wicket's just starting to tumble for Cluj, the Romanian champions. They finished the 4th over at 43 for 3.
Yeah, this is always the danger. This is what I was concerned about. When you lose those 2 wickets early, then you've got new batters that come together. That rate is, well, to keep that rate from going to about 15, 16, you've got to still be looking for your shots. And though they do get 1 boundary in it, after those couple of dots, decided to go for the big one again, and you chance your arm, and with the pace off the ball, it's going to be a really good firm hit. He wasn't able to find the middle of the bat, and another good catch taken, and this time by Umar Mohammed.
Yeah, Polite would have been hunting that himself to try and get that catch back that he dropped, but still, it was just the way that that ball hurried onto the batter that caused the false shot. So, 5th over coming up. pitched up. And there'll just be one. So, see, that's fresh from the catch. Remember, Mohammed is going to have a bowl. Quite experienced. Again, played a lot of high-level cricket. That's why I'd love to see the way experienced cricketers take on this new experience. And it is quite new. Hussaini's out there now, coming at number 5. Leg side, quarter wide. That's work from McCann to go and block it. Yeah, they just need something to click again. So they actually said they want to be 50 off 4 overs. They ended up kind of grounded in the 40s. It's a good shot though, and it just gets over the fielder. Polite was an acrobatic attempt. This time he doesn't sink the landing, and this one brings up the 50 for Cluj. Maximo, 6 to Saini.
Yeah, hits it cleanly, crisply. Polite, fabulous effort there, flying in the air. You can see this time, just trying to see if he can get fingertips onto it to push it back into the field of play. Unable to do so. So that one does stay hit. So Saini just showing what he can do. It's a good hit. Both these batters, can they come together? Can they get a partnership they need? Can one of them go on to score big?
Good length, kind of in between length.
Good comeback.
It's a 50-50 call. Just reading the body language of Stefan Guyssss, the umpire. If we've got time. See this one. Oh, it's a bit of a stiff one for the batter. Next one. Does this go all the way? It does. Yeah, nice shot by Hussaini, who just cuts this one square. Gets another boundary. And that rate's just crept up to the kind of 13-ish mark, just above. And they need to keep scoring boundaries, don't they, Rico? There's another one. Nice one.
Certainly do. This is a nice shot. You can see he's trying to do a repeat of the ball before outside the off stump. But Saini, this time, he matches it, plays it beautifully all along the deck. 4 runs. Goes down the ground. This is dangerous. Should be taken, and is taken. And that's just sometimes not smart cricket, Vinny.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, took it on. He had 2 boundaries out of the 3 balls, but Vasu just doesn't quite get to the pitch of this. It's a false shot, and that's the nature of the game. Cluj, they're going to keep attacking. Imam Mohammed, like the flight, and gets a decent amount of revs on the ball. The catch was taken, and well held down there by Shuja Khan. And so it's a quick one, but not a long one for Hussaini. He goes for 10, and the score now is 55 for 4.
Yeah, you just got to, I mean, we often say that in this format, you can't value your wicket too much sometimes. We see a lot of batters take too much time to get going and chew up a lot of dot balls, but there's times in an innings where you just got to give it a little bit of value. You just need to think about the partnership, and especially when you've hit a couple of boundaries, that's the time to say, right, I think it is over, I've done my job. Now we can push around for the singles, and then we go again in the next over.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Get down.
Cut, and nice bit of infield and cut that one off. That'll be the end of the over. So halfway through this chase, Cluj 56 for 4. Gaurav Mishra is out there. He gets a single and retains the strike. He's also a player that he can get going with the bat. He played one really good innings in the ACS tournament, European Cricket Series domestic tournament in Romania last year. I like the mix of kind of traditional cricket experience versus ECN cricket experience we got on show today. And Cluj, regardless of the result in this game, they've competed very well here on day 1. Carlton, I think, they'd be a bit disappointed to only have 124 on the board, if I'm honest, after the start they had.
Go on, Hugo, is what you're hearing. So,
Yep.
the big man is coming on to have a bowl.
Yep. 59 rugby tests, rugby union tests for Hugo Southwell. He's not at Murrayfield now. He's at the Field of Dreams at the Costa del Sol, Carlton Cricket Oval. Here he is, bowling to Gaurav Mishra. Hit hard, but he's found the fielder. And this one just goes down. I think it does carry in the end to Imam Mohammed. So a slice of luck for Mishra. Just a single.
Yeah, I think they start. I mean, they're always difficult when they're dipping in front. You see it better here. Well, maybe not.
Inconclusive, but I felt it was going to carry to him. Good bit of keeping from McCann. He's impressed me behind there. It's a full toss, though, that Mishra misses out on. You're not going to get a lot of bad balls. You want to hit those ones.
You see the plan here from Southwell. He just wants to get the ball right up there. He's encouraging the batters to drive. He's basically saying, you know where I'm going to be? You hit. Fine. You miss. I got you.
Need a boundary. Goes for it and gets it. This will go all the way. Maximal! And Rajshekara moves into double figures as Cluj, they're going to keep swinging away, and they swing their way into the 60s.
Yeah, this is a good pickup. It's maybe just a tad shorter and directed towards the middle leg. And, well, Rajshekara is onto this very quickly. Nice shot, 6 runs.
Runs its way into the jungle. There's very little margin for error. He's going for the Yorker. Just missed it a bit short that time, Southwell. Now he gets it just right. How has this missed? Oh, this one, I thought for a second that it crashed into the stumps. It got a piece of the stumps. Maybe that's it, bounces off the keeper. That's how the bails go down.
Yeah. Nasty bounce. Where does the keeper take this?
Ooh, really good block from McCann. Actually, fortunately for the batter, it stays at home. It did take off, didn't it?
Really took off on McCann. Well, he's not robbing it. They say don't rob it.
You've got to be tough as a keeper.
On camera.
You're happy with that as a keeper.
That's a bruise.
Because you've blocked it. Keepers don't bruise. Short, just hurries on to Rajshekara, who gets 1. So yeah, the next mini target would have been, after 6 overs, they'd want to be 75 to be on the pace. And you see they're about 10 behind of where they need to be. But you can make that up with a couple of swings of the bat, Rico. Just need a bit of a partnership as they're running out of key batters. Still have a bit of batting to come. And Coley can bat a bit. Last ball of the 6.
Oh my
One cuts back and beats the bat, and that takes us to the end of 6. Cluj 664 for 4.
This doesn't look at that. That's missed the top of off stump.
So close.
By a centimetre or so. Really well bowled.
Yeah, close but no cigar. 6 overs down, so that run rate now required. They basically need to. Yeah, they need 61 in the last 4, so it's over 15 and over. They're pretty much an over behind where they need to be. They'd be happy with 64 off 5, but with 6 overs down, it's going to be real tough. But we know on this ground, we've seen things before, haven't we? Just one magical over can change everything. If you grab an over of 20 plus from here, looks like they're going to go back to Adil Raza. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think he's just hurried on to the batters a few times. Gets a bit of overspin on the ball.
Yeah, Adil Raza, I mean, we've heard that he's so dedicated. He spent recent winters training and playing in Pakistan with coach Abdul Majid, so certainly learning his craft.
Goes after it, and it's a bit of a filthy French cut away, but still it will be 1. Got to take him on. I mean, I would be eyeing off probably the gap over cover, maybe hitting with the spin. It's going to be tough to hit across the line. A deep backward point, they've got a long off. They've got kind of 2 covers in the circle. Hits it really well, but gets a piece of the bowler. Can't prevent the single though.
Yeah, you won't mind the singles. Singles is always going to be a win for Carlton here. And he's bowling it and really teasing them. You can see what he's doing. You're absolutely right. That's the shot. You've got to go over cover. But he's enticing the batters to come out. Obviously, with McCann standing right up, difficult shot to play.
Was a length back, cut nicely, but the field's well set. Just be 1. Well, Kitty Hundley, she says, that's a slogging away at the moment. Well, we had a team called the Sloggers in Gibraltar. To start the year off, we had a night series. Say hello to any of the Sloggers fans that are watching. They're a wonderful bunch, the Sloggers. Halfway through the 7 over, need a boundary. Tossed up. Oh, this one is a finger tipper. But I don't think their bowler could have done much more. Singles, probably a win to Carlton. That was one almost blew his finger off. It's, yeah, not taken. Goes for this, beaten in flight. This should be a simple catch, and it's taken. So Rajshekhar falls on his sword. So Rate was climbing out of control. That's the second wicket for Adil Raza, who I think's bowled really well so far. He has 2 for 11, and Cluj, they have the right approach, but they are running out of resources pretty quickly as they lose another wicket. And you'd have to say it's a long way back for them at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, there's safe hands there. It's nicely taken. So Southall gets himself in the book, takes the catch, and yeah, this is all about the teasing length for me. It's drifting the ball up there. You're basically saying to the batter, right, the only way you're going to make good contact with it if you use your feet and meet me down the middle of the pitch. If you don't, then you're going to be reaching for it. When you're reaching for it, it's going to be very difficult to get a clean hit.
And he varies his pace nicely as well. Not easy when you're bowling over the wrist. Adil Raza, you can see that he's been working on his bowling. And, it's 5 wickets down now. 68 for 5. Oh, this is hit pretty well. And that's almost reeled in by Shuja Khan for the result. Maximo. Well, Kohli, he's the man I said can hold a bat. Not batting as high in this Cluj lineup as he did for the Gladiators last year. Jeez, he hit that one really nice. Yeah, but it's a very good shot first ball. Heard that in the stump mics. But, well, goalkeeper style from Shuja, but he can't reel it in. And that's the end of the 7th over. It's 74 for 5. That's the 6th that they wanted. As we look ahead to what's coming up, last game of the day, Brescia CC versus Alton. And I can tell you that Brescia CC have won the toss. They've elected to bat first. Well, they'll be reeling after that 1-run loss to Cluj.
Yep.
And I've got the chance to get on the board against Alton, who impressed against the Turks. So last 3 overs coming up now.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting match for me. Alton have got the victory under their belt, and they'll be fired up. Brescia, they'll be extremely disappointed the way they lost to Cluj in that run chase. Looking to bounce back.
Back to spin. Beatty. This one finds the gap, but the gap's come off pretty quickly. Good fielding to keep it to 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things. Well, you say keep it to 1, and asking the question, we're going to go upstairs here. So there's more work to be done for the 3rd umpire, and I can tell you that's going to be umpire Sullivan, the Italian stallion. Going to be having a look at this.
Yeah, go back. Let's have it. Yeah, he's fine. But then I want to see the wipeout. Have a look at this. It's going to be a good replay from here.
And look at the somersault on the bat.
Here we go. Comes in. This is why you got to run on the pitch, because this is what happens when you try and slide your bat. It's going to be carnage. Anyway, live and learn.
BT. Fires this one in. And, just manages to dig it out. 3 men. On the boundary on the leg side. Fine leg on the 45. And he meets this one and he gets plenty of it. Bolle, 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 manos arriba, Vidro, manos arriba. Eso es 6 carreras.
A nice shot. Kohli's come out, drilled a couple, just what they need. Don't write it in the book just yet.
It's a really good shot. BT, what's the reply going to be? Goes short up in the air, so this is a chance. Fielder coming in, got a long way to come and takes a really, really good catch. Umar Mohammed, he's the man again. And you can see that between him and well, his partner in crime, Raza, they're going to patrol that boundary. And this is a really good catch. He's got a long way to come in, but he's all about wanting it. And that as soon as this goes in the air, he wants it and he's off. And disappointment for Kohli, and a really good catch. Just you can see the ground he makes because he's taking this one just inside the 30-yard circle. So he's got to come a long way. So Kohli, well, he gave them hope, didn't he, with some big hits. Well, what he's done, I suppose, he stopped that required rate getting too far out of hand with those hits. He gets a warm reception from his teammates. But that's what's required now. Each batter coming in has got to find their range, has got to find the boundary. It's not going to be easy. And Angus Beattie getting his first wicket with a ball to go in his spell. 1 for 20 so far for him. And finishing with a dot, so that will be the end of the 8th over. And it's 83 for 6.
Yeah, so we'd have to say probably a bit beyond them now, but I've liked the hustle from Cluj. I think also Carlton would have learnt a lot from this innings, the Scottish champions as well, with their plans with the ball, with the approach of their opponents, what they can expect. And I think, for me, all of their opponents, perhaps with the exception of the Turkish champions, they will play pretty similarly. These two, Brescia CC and Alton, they all like to have a go. They've got some good cricketers in there. Of course, you've got Cluj as well. You've got Prague CC Kings as well. I mean, this is what Carlton CC can expect. As we start the 9th over, and it's a nice little bat cut. Well, they need a magical over. Mishra trying to pull something out of the fire. This is a nice little dabbed cut. He gets 4 runs to start the 9th.
Yeah, Mishra's had 6 balls for 5 up until now, so he knows that he's one that's got to get going, got to play some shots, and that's clever. Big gap there. It was in the slot, and he just guides this to the boundary for 4 runs. So Khan, his first ball goes to the boundary. Mishra. Can he get hold of Khan once again here?
He does. Oh, this has gone a long way. That's long, that's strong. That's going to bounce off the top of the side screen. Maximal from Mishra. And, well, a bit like one of my favourite BG songs, Cluj, they're staying alive.
Certainly are, look. It's 4 and a 6. And this one, look, just takes a big stride. Hits it cleanly. Nice follow through. Gets that bat going all the way over the shoulder to follow through. Big hit. 10 on the first 2 deliveries.
Goes again. Well, I think this one could be 6 more, and it carries all the way. Maximal from Mishra, and they believe now, as he has gone 4-6-6. Turn the game around, and just putting them back in the zone of possibility. Still a lot of work to do, but that's an excellent start to the 9th. 16 runs come off it, so 26 now off 9 balls.
Yeah, what it means is, whatever happens, is that we go into last with a real possibility of an upset, and there's still 3 deliveries left here. You can't be pitching up. This one will not be pitched up. What will he go for here? Shorter delivery, the slower one.
Yeah, gets 1. I think Carlton will be pretty happy to see Mishra at the other end at the moment. Trying to find a way to get him back on strike, but they won't be able to. So this is Rajendra Pisal coming out at number 8. This is where you don't really have a ball to burn and get a single as well. You know, it's a tough one, but I think he just mainly needs to score. Doesn't want to swing and miss. Don't want a dot ball. Minimum 1. Hopefully a boundary for Cluj. Does, and he's going to find the fielder, so he won't get off strike. And that's disappointment for Pisal, who's going to go very first ball. And of course, with the rules on the ECN, it means the new batter will have to come in and take strike, despite the fact that they've crossed. So it's 100 for 7. Pisal goes for a golden.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a full toss, but it's dipping. It's not as high as at first look. You see there, the height is fine on it. It just is one of those. Could have gone anywhere. Could have gone over the fielder, but straight in his hands. And that was good. Interesting to see. The fielder takes this catch and throws straight away. And I think that's the fielder not sure if that's going to be called or not.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Clever cricket.
Yeah, it was thigh high. I thought it was maybe just a bit of a celebration, but I think it's a good point you make there. That wasn't necessarily clear cut, especially from that fielding position. I think was fine. Still, Pisal, disappointment for him. He's not able to get Mishra, who's the main man at the moment, back on strike. Have liked what I've seen from Cluj today, though. Remember, this is a team that didn't win a single match back at the ECL in 2019. They said, look, we're going to go back, we're going to work hard in our cricket. They certainly have. You can see the improvement, even though it looks like they may fall just short. They have brought up the 100 against the Scottish champions, and the margin could be something like 15 runs or something like that. Last ball of the night coming up. Shuja Khan. And it's the attempted reverse. It's the last ball of the over. So Sukran Sahi, you can see what he's thinking there. Just gambling to try and get a boundary. But he picked probably the hardest shot in the book. And Shuja Khan says, thanks very much, I'll have this. He won't get a chance for his hat-trick because that's the end of his 2 overs. He'll finish with 4 wickets, 4 for 26. Eventful couple of overs. And that's 9 overs down now. And the score is 100 for 8.
Yeah, 4 wickets. That's well bowled from him, and he's a good comeback after he was hit well by Collie all around the place. And well, we had 4 wickets taken a few times, twice in Group A, and then we had it on 4 occasions in Group B, including what is a European Cricket League record at the moment, which was 4 for 6, taken by Mohammad Afzal against Biovica.
All right, so we'll go to the last. And this will be a record if they can chase, what is it, 25 of the last over? The record is 23. That's successfully been chased down. And I think it'll be Mishra. He's going to have to do something quite remarkable. Well, how do you get 25? Well, 3 sixes and a couple of 4s will do it. Can't have more than 1 dot ball. So it will be Shivam Gupta. 10th overtime. Yeah, see, I don't think the dab's on when you need that many. So now
It's got to be blazing, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, it's their only shot. As you can see, that's Ahmed Safi is out there joining him. He's another player who can bowl decent seam up. Didn't see him bowl today, Safi. Wide, that'll help. 4 hits, 4 big hits, 24.
Yeah, 4 big hits. Interesting in this this innings from Carlton. But, one man that we were probably looking forward to seeing with the ball, Captain Ali Evans, has decided that he's going to maybe give himself a bit of a rest.
Yeah, he said he wasn't playing to bowl this game. I'm sure we'll see him at some point during the week. Wide, that helps.
Yeah.
Mishra. Now you can tie it with 22. So what's that? Could go 1 6 and the rest 4s. Still, they need boundaries. They need them quick. Mishra, 22 off 11. Interesting option to pinch hit, I think, Mishra, if he batted a bit higher. This one, pick the foot. Does it come out? Main instinct was it stayed down, but whether it was behind the line or not, I'm not so sure. Keeper likes it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Wasting our time, Rory McCann. But you have kept very well, I'll tell you that.
Yes. Very good hands.
An unusual style of glove that he prefers as well. With his left hand. It's more like a golf glove. I just think it gives him a better feel. But I have liked his work behind the stumps. Former Irish international. Well, now, it's now or never. This doesn't go to the boundary. They're not getting there. Oh, this will help, because this one's going to go out of the ground. Maximo! How well is that, Corey? He's almost taken out DJ Anthony. Oh, he is a dangerous weapon in the fan zone. And just have a look at this. I don't know if we've got it after it bounces. That's Rutgers causing commotion as he hits this ball at speed. We almost had a bad collision before. There he is, watch out. Got to go back to that one if we can. Oh, this one's knocked him over. Well, it was the bowler, Gupta, that falls over. But Mishra that gets knocked over as this one crashes into the off stump. And Mishra has to go despite a fighting 28 in a losing cause. He's the 9th wicket to fall, and the score is 108 for 9.
Yeah, well, it's not often you see both the bowler and the batter go down. The bowler goes down, but he's going to get up smiling. He's going to get up the happier, because Mishra has to go. And, well, it's been a brave effort from him. He's stuck around, but just lost partners, really. It's, with a couple of deliveries to go. It's been a brave effort from Cluj. They've always been there or thereabout, but they just didn't get that one big over that they needed at the right time. And you look back at maybe that good, healthy contribution from Collie, and also from Vasu. And you just thought if they just stayed there a little bit longer, it could have been different.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, they're going to wind up 15 short in this chase, and yeah, I wouldn't say they batted particularly well. You'd have to say as well for Carlton, they should have made a lot more. I think the 124, considering the start that they had. But it's been a very entertaining game 4, and stick around because Corey will be back in the box in match 5. Corey and Rico will take you through what I think will be an excellent game as well. Precious EC will be keen to get on the board after falling to Cluj by a single run. As we see Arun Kumar, the captain, batting 11. And I bet he'd love to get a run. He was very entertaining in ECL 19 with his kamikaze running between the wickets. Arun does a lot for Romanian cricket, and nice to see him back at the ECL after 2.5 years. Last ball coming up. Come on, Arun. Get off your duck here. He will, and he'll do it with the boundaries, so he'll be happy with that. It'll pad the scores a little bit as Arun Kumar gets 4. And end of a very entertaining game, but the final score in match 4 of Group C, it's Carlton, the Scottish champions, 124, Cluj, 112.
Yeah, look, in the end, like you say, Vinny, it doesn't end up that many short by, what, 13 runs?
Yeah,
so it
12 runs between the teams, yeah.
Well, between the two. So it just goes to show that just at a time when there was maybe just a little bit of smart batting was called upon, if they were able to do that, it could have been a different story. It could have been an upset here. But, it is Carlton that hold on, and they get themselves a victory. It started pretty well. There were some nice shots. I mean, Taranjit Singh was hitting the ball sweet, and he was hitting it big. This could have been interesting. The cat saying, hang on a minute. And nice to see that the Turkish champions as well enjoying some of these moments as well. They're certainly looking to come back and to be out there again, and maybe luck will be a bit more on their side. But we saw, look, there was always a flow of boundaries. They were always playing some nice shots, and you just thought for a moment the start that they had, look, they went really well, but then it was those 2 wickets that they lost. Just at the time I was saying the last thing they want to do is lose both openers within balls of each other. Well, that's what they did. 2 great catches.
Really good catch to get rid of Taranjit. Look, you just wonder, I'd said, if he could stick around, make a 50 instead of that 25,
yeah,
that could have been a lot different. When you consider they only fell a dozen short ultimately in the chase. There was some good catching in amongst it, and you did have that feeling that when the ball went up in the air, the batters were in trouble, even though we saw a couple shelled.
Yeah.
I think Carlton set pretty high standards for themselves. If they can catch in the Scottish conditions, I think they'll love the Costa del Sol with the sun out. That was another good one that was taken. That was Southwell. And, well, Mishra made it interesting in the end, didn't he? With 28s. And well, come the end, it was a bit of sloppy work. It was wipeout time. McCann did a good job behind the stumps. Sure, we'll see him click with the bat at some point as well. Congratulations to the Scottish side who win on their first attempt in ECL cricket. It's been a day of firsts with the Kings and Cluj and Alton and now Carlton all getting their first wins in ECL cricket, and maybe Precious EC will be the 5th team to get a win.